Try again. I'll try to go live. See how this feed comes through. Well, good evening, guys and girls. It is the night before Thanksgiving 2018, and I'm making this live feed. And I titled it Holiday Disaster. Um, certainly there's been different times in my life um, that I've experienced holidays with family members, with friends, with lovers, and they've all had a collective experience in my life. Some good, some bad. Um, you know, uh, at this point in my life, at a mid age, I kind of choose to be alone for the holidays. Why? Because for me, I found for the most part um, that it is a disaster. Ice Thesis on the live checking. What's up, brother? Brother, is the video coming through clear now? Before I do another 15 minutes of a video, and then I found out that the feed is choppy. It's good. Well, that's good. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Thank you for coming back, man. I appreciate that. But yeah. I mean, again, I don't want to begrudge people from enjoying their life. They should. Um, you know, Coming up, my mother was always loving. My father did the best he could. I spent time. My parents got divorced at 8. I spent time with my mother, my father, and again, they did the best they could. They treated us right. There was never like any like abuse or anything, but it was always like forced. I always felt like there was a huge obligation that during the holidays you had to force yourself to put up a show. You have to really dress up. You have to really get the house in order. You have to really get all the food right. And it was just a forced show. And for me, that's a disaster. I like free flowing life, and I don't like obligation. But when you're a child, you don't have a choice in the matter. You have to follow what your parents want to do. And many times, what your parents, they had children with the idea of having family holidays. And they put a lot of pressure on their family to enjoy those holidays because that's one of the big reasons they had kids. And guess what? As a child, it's not your show, it's their show. And they're going to run the holidays how they imagined life in their mind. And how they imagined it was you being part of their show, sitting down, dressed up in a nice, cute outfit, with their house decorated in nice, cute home decor, everyone loving each other, and you're going to love each other whether you like it or not. See those pillows in the back? Damn, it's magical to live in your car. I'd rather live in my car. I'd rather be alone. I'd rather have no family, no kids. I thank God for the time I had my pet. That was like my child and my wife, and my pet was magical. And again, so let me go back. So I went through that. Again, overall, my parents were loving, so there's no hard feelings, but this is observation. So then you become an adult and you finally get to go out there and say, all right, well, I'm going to create my own family, or I'm going to go see how other families do it because I think there's something great out there. And, I dated people. I was invited to their house, their family members. I went to friends' family members' house. I visited a lot of different people, a lot of different scenarios. And, some was good, some was bad, but for the most part, it was all a disaster. Because, everyone's rushing home from work. They're rushing to get to the store. They're putting all their pressure on themselves, on their family members, on their house being in order, on the food being right, on everyone getting to that house, getting directions, all the logistical nightmares. And that's why heart attacks are proven in America. They increase from Thanksgiving to Christmas. Why? Because there's a lot of stress. The idea of the holidays is magical. Like today, like at work, and like everyone feels good. Like, oh, it's the holiday weekend. And of course, everyone wants to be off work. Everyone wants to have off time. But what you're going to come to realize for most people, it's going to be a disaster these next few days. People are going to overeat. People are going to overdrink. People are going to force themselves to be in relationships because it's the holidays. You know, I went through a season of my life where I felt more obligation, more pressure to be in a relationship during the holidays. Because just like how consumerism is pumped, so is relationships, especially during the holidays. You watch romantic comedies and you watch movies, and what do they show? They show people frolicking around during the holidays, falling in love. And so, like, you feel like, I got to do that. That's part of life. What's the number one thing that keeps people up at night? Relationships. Number two is money. So here you are, you're going to get into a relationship, and here you are, you're going to go into the consumerism of Thanksgiving weekend, and you're going to fall into the trap of the top two things that keep people up at night. What's going to keep me up tonight? Nothing. I'm going to go to sleep at 10 o'clock like a baby after I have some Starbucks and free porn. I live by myself. I live in my car. That's the type of life I want to live. Some people are disgusted by that. But some people tomorrow will overeat, will have diabetes, will be listening to other people with health problems, telling them it's the holidays. Go ahead, treat yourself. Be very careful when you take someone else's advice. Look at their condition. You know, people trying to get their health together, the holidays are a big stumbling block. Big stumbling block. Because there's extra pressure that you're supposed to cheat. You're supposed to overeat. You're supposed to drink. You're supposed to do what society says. And so you have to remember, most of society is not happy with their life. They live for the holidays. They live for the weekends. They suffer most of their life. It's a disaster. Should you judge them? No. But you shouldn't take advice from them. That's my opinion. Again, I think you should experience every season of life. I think you should go do all these things, experience them and observe. And you should do whatever you want, not listen to me, okay? But I have to share my truth. And my truth, my life is some of the things I just said in a small condensed version. And I actually feel encouraged and inspired that I don't have any pressure tomorrow to go anywhere, to wear anything, to eat something, or I don't want that. There's certain people out there like me that don't want the obligation, don't want the pressure. They'd rather be alone. There's certain people that aren't like that. I can't speak to them. That's not me. I can only speak to my own truth. But I'm here to tell you, there's nothing wrong if you like to be alone. And if you don't like to go to family members' house, you don't like to go to friends. And you know, my life isn't perfect. I share ups and downs because I think everyone's life, no one's life is perfect. But I know for me, I'm living the best life possible for me at this season of my life. Overall, I'm very happy and very positive, and overall, I take good care of myself. And overall, when I look around, I don't see that in overall most people. But again, I'll just, close on this, and we're going to go live comments. I want to hear what you guys are doing for the holidays. Is that this is just me at this season of life. And you should not be me, you should be you. Because I do know, like I had a friend that, he was in a relationship, he used to always complain about his wife. And I remember one time saying, Sam, you know what, I complain about her, but I don't think I'd be good being single. And I think that's true for some people. I think they may like the idea of being free of obligation and being single, but I don't think long term they'd be able to handle it. I think, being alone for the holidays, being in a car, I think that would totally not work for them. And that's okay. It's not about like my way's right and your way's wrong or vice versa. This channel, the basic circle says be you. This channel is though be you. If you want to be alone, and if you want to live in your car and you don't want to celebrate Thanksgiving, and you don't want to be miserable like most people because it's a fucking disaster out there, don't do it. But if you want to have a family, if you want to have all the fixings, and if you want to go, do it. I think that's very fair. I'm not guilt tripping someone. I'm not trying to over persuade someone. But what I'm sharing is, when you're young, you're just in the show of your parents. You're starring in their show. And what you're going to come to find out, your parents, they were putting up a show. They were really miserable. And as an adult, This is your show. You got to make your own movie. You got to make your own ending. You decide. All right. Love and respect. Live comments. Ice Thesis. Get ready for Friday. People go crazy for those deals. Yeah, Ice Thesis. Shout out to Baltimore. He likes to talk about that Black Friday. Yeah, consumerism Black Friday, day after Thanksgiving in the United States of America, is basically called Black Friday. Black Friday is basically named after, that's when companies go in the black, meaning they make a profit for the year. They start the holiday Christmas season selling. And, look, the U.S. economy, 70% of the U.S. economy is based on consumerism. People buying more than they necessarily have. That's what keeps the economy going. If you don't have consumerism, if you don't have debt, you don't have a U.S. economy. That's the bottom line, because that's how capitalism works. It does not work off you saving and you living below your means. So, you have to decide. But that's why most people, it's a fucking disaster out there. Good job. Ice Thesis. Spending tomorrow with my mom. But again, let me go backwards. Just want to say too, though, I've spent a lot. I've done a lot, and everyone spends their money in different ways. So again, I don't want to shame or guilt trip anyone. I'm just sharing. All right, good job. Ice Thesis says, spending tomorrow with my mom. That's all I need. I'm not mad at that. I definitely was a large family gatherings where there is plenty of spite and judgment in there. Yeah, total disaster. Good job. M-Top. It does seem like extended family always judge the hell out of you. Ironically, if they saw you on the street homeless, I doubt they would lend a room or dollar. For me, I really don't have much family. I mean, and I don't want to... For me, I still keep in touch with my mother. I don't my father. My aunts and relatives. I never really was close to any of them. So for me, I wouldn't want anything to do with them. Like I often say, what you're going to find out in life is when you're at a certain age, it's not going to be your parents or your relatives that take care of you. You're going to be in a professional institution of care. If you live in America, you're going to be in a home, an assisted living home, because you're going to rather paid professionals take care of you than your resentful family members. And if you're really destitute in life, what you're going to come to find out at a certain point that you may be better off going into some type of program rather than borrow money from your parents or relatives. There's even a scripture that says better to borrow money from a friend than a relative. Why? Because they'll guilt trip you. That relationship will never be the same. It's a complete disaster. They'll bring that money up to 10 years down the road at the Thanksgiving table, get into a fight with them because you don't like Trump and they like Trump. And they say, you know what, give me my $5,000 back. You say, here it is, go fuck yourself. It's a disaster. That's what happens. That's the truth. People don't want to say the truth. Why they don't want to say the truth? Because they're caught in a disaster. So it's like, who wants to admit, probably got too deep in the game. So let's just dress the house up with turkeys and say, fuck it. We're this deep. Might as well go all the way in. Ice Thesis. All these gatherings have one thing in common. People talking about the good old days and judging others. Yep. Get to Al Bundy. I scored 3 touchdowns in one football game. Story ready. Good job, Tony. Woo, made it, Sam. Thank you. I'm not a frolicker. Screw that noise. I ain't mad at that. Because let me tell you something. All ends in a disaster. You ain't going to be frolicking for long with that girl or that guy. Ice Thesis. It is perceived to be disrespectful not to eat someone's food. That game is a big guilt trip. Totally agree. I got in a big fight with my mom when I was getting my health together that I didn't want to eat her food anymore. And she got very hurt and very upset. But I had to make my mom upset. Why? Because my mom has diabetes and shooting nerve pain throughout her legs. So if I'm going to change my health, guess what I have to do? I had to get in a fight with my mom. And if your mom can't understand it, guess what? When I went to the hospital, even though my mom was there, could she take away the pain? No. So, guess what? If they don't like the fact that you ain't going to eat their food, guess what? If you're in the hospital, they can't take away your pain either. Even if they say they want to, they can't. I love my mom. We've grown to a mature place, and I thank God that we've been able to do that. But what I'm trying to say is, if it's between your health and making your family members feel comfortable, fuck them. Because they ain't going to, even if they're there in the hospital, they can't take the pain away. And so, you know what? That's what it is. And that's how I feel. Ice Thesis. A lot of drunk people watching football tomorrow. Oh, yeah. Top 3 causes of death. Number 1 is top 3 causes of preventable deaths. Number 1 is tobacco-related diseases. Number 2 is alcohol. Number 3 is obesity. So they'll be engaging in all 3 tomorrow. And I did all 3 at one time in my life, so I can speak from experience. And what I can tell you, it's a disaster. And then while watching football, be drinking. I totally agree with that. And going to be watching football, not going to be drunk. I'm mad at you. Tony, people engorge themselves. Yep, gluttony's a sin. They said that's one of the 7 deadly sins. But everyone probably say, praise be to the Lord tomorrow. Thanks be to God. Somebody say grace before. Somebody say grace at the Thanksgiving table before we commit gluttony. Now, but hold on now. Now, the opposite side of that is you don't want everyone that's like real skinny saying, all right, we're only going to eat like a certain amount. Because again, I'd rather err on the side of being messy. And again, I'd rather spend time with my mom who's obese than my father who has watched his weight. So, believe me, I'd rather spend time with overweight people than skinny people. That's the truth. I'm not going to lie to you either. Because let me tell you something. Fatter people are happier. It's true. I've been fat. I've been skinny. Fatter people are happy. Now, are they healthier? No. But my father was skinny. He was totally like a stressed out nutball. So his blood pressure was high, but he was skinny. So at the end of the day, look, do you. That's my message. What do I want to do? I want to wear no underwear and eat a vegetarian sub tomorrow. Is that what I'm going to do? Hell yeah. Good job. Ice. I've always dreaded being forced to go to Thanksgiving meal. It's a disaster. Where there is so much tension in the air. Oh yeah, your parents can't wait for you to turn 18 so they can get a divorce. I'm waiting for someone to crack or food. Oh yeah, it's a whole disaster. I've seen that happen. They can't wait till their children are 18 so they can get the hell out of that marriage. Tony, at Ice Thesis. You from Maryland too? Yeah, Ice Thesis from Baltimore. Ice Thesis. I used to watch people fight over TV originally. I thought it was funny, but how I realized it's sad. Yeah, now you realize you're living in that disaster. Well, the world is. You're going to break your way out. Ice Thesis. I've been in very clean houses, and I was very nervous because I felt like I was walking around, had to be perfect. Yeah. When you are in an environment and you feel you have to walk on eggshells, you are in the wrong environment and get the hell out of there. You're in a controlling, manipulative environment. Get the hell out of there. Again, if I had to choose, I'd rather be in a messier house than a clean house. If I had to choose, I'd rather be with overweight people than skinny people. Why? For me, I don't want to be around a bunch of uptight people. Now, look, it's a disaster no matter where you go. That's why I'm going to be in my car by myself. You understand what I'm saying? But what I can tell you is, be careful, Tony. Sam, I got in an argument too. I can't do 4 sticks of butter, total disaster, in the stuffing. Oh, yep. Butter is nothing but liquid lard. Okay. Butter, oil, it's liquid lard. Total disaster. He says, Sam, got an argument about the 4 sticks of butter. Understand that in the stuffing. Too much. I'm not going to have a heart attack. I'm not mad at you. Heart attacks increase. Statistically, this is proven. They go higher in America from Thanksgiving to Christmas. Why? Because of the stress and because of unhealthy food, and it's total disaster. Free to be made. What's up, brother? The illusion of love. Holidays. Good quote. I'm gonna give that to you. Holidays are the illusion of love. That's an excellent comment. Good job, Free to be me. Ice Thesis. Are you going to swim on Thanksgiving while everyone is swimming in their grandma's gravy? Yeah, well, it depends how hot it'll be. I think it'll be in the 80s, so I may swim in the ocean tomorrow. Yeah, I may do that. Yeah, I definitely won't be swimming in gravy. Good job. I think Starbucks is closing early. So someone asked me, where am I going to eat dinner tomorrow? Well, last year I spent Christmas in Florida living in my car, and I ate dinner at Wawa. Wawa is a convenience store / gas station, and they got subs there. You can get a vegetarian sub. Publix will be closed. Everything will be closed. So Wawa, that's the go-to spot. Now, is that depressing? Hell no. You know what's depressing? Going over someone's house and having to put up the show. Believe me, I've been both. And I'm living this life by choice. I can do whatever. I got friends actually in Florida. I dodge them. Why? Because I want to be alone. Now, I love them. I love everyone. But I want to be alone. That's how I am. I'm tough. I remember you saying anxiety is unburnt energy. So true. Anxiety is unused energy. So true. I think you are right on there, brother. Amen. A lot of people wake up, they roll around, they get up, they drink 2 cups of coffee, they have 2 bagels. And if they don't got to go to work, they just putz around, they take naps during the day, and they got all this energy. And what is it? It's unused energy. You should wake up by 6 a.m. every day, 7 a.m. the latest, and you should get going. You should have your coffee. You should go to the gym. You should go somewhere for a walk for 2 hours. This is if you're not working. And you should stay active all day and take small breaks in between. Take no naps. By 10 o'clock, you should be tired as hell. Every night at 10 o'clock, whether I'm working or I'm not working, I'm tired. Why? Because I've learned this trick. I've learned this through research. Through being 350 and through changing my life, what I've learned is you want to wake up early, you want to stay active all day, you want to resist the temptation to take naps, you want to eat healthy, and you'll be in bed and you'll be tired at the perfect time. If you do the opposite, if you wake up late, if you don't stay active, tomorrow on Thanksgiving, people are going to wake up late, they're going to rush to people's houses, they're going to eat one full meal, then they're going to take a nap on the couch, then they're going to wake up and drink, say, all right, who's ready for seconds? Then they're going to have seconds, and it's going to be a complete disaster. They're going to have heartburn, they're going to get home late, they're going to go, it's a disaster. It's a disaster. Totally been there, don't want to be there, not happy about it. But love and respect to everyone who wants to do that. ISIS. That was me who asked. Thank you, brother. Thank you, everyone who joins these live chats and leaves a comment, especially like on a holiday afternoon. Now, to me, this is Thanksgiving to me. Being able to share with you guys virtually with no commitment. You want to go watch free porn? Guess what? You get out of my chat room. You don't like something I said? You're gone. You don't want to be in my chat room? You can leave at any time. You have the freedom. I have the freedom to shut this live chat off at every time. I love that. I love that. I don't want to be obligated. Like I just drove an hour to someone's house. I'm not going to just get up and leave. For me, get the hell out of here. And I'm going to get the hell out of here when I want. That's the type of relationship I want. If you don't want that, then you stay in a marriage for 18 years and you can't wait till your kids get old enough so you can get a divorce. And then I know I'm the bad guy. I'm the bad guy broadcasting live from his car because I'm telling you it's a disaster. And you're living a disaster. What do I say? Love and respect. Joey Rod. Hey, man, what's up? I don't care how people choose to live. That's right. I say the same thing. But rich snobs don't impress me. I hear that. It's not my job to judge anyone. That's God's job. Yeah, I agree. Look, I've been around rich people and poor people. And what I can tell you is there's bad people in both. There's poor people that are scumbags. There's rich people that are scumbags. So it's good and bad. Believe me, I've been around both. So I could tell you both. They're both assholes. There's good and bad in everything. So love and respect. ISIS. Would you consider Friday to be the American dream if Sunday is the nightmare? Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's why they call it Friday Fun Day. It's the one day where you can have fun. You can say, yes, I finally made it in life. You didn't make it in life. You got one day off tomorrow. Then Sunday, you're back to the nightmare. Friday is on average the, what my man Freddie B. Me say, it's like not the illusion of love, but Friday is the illusion of freedom. You ain't free. You getting ready to wake up to a nightmare. But love and respect. I'm thankful for America. I love America. I think we could do a little bit better. But what I'm sharing is some thoughts, putting them in context. Thankful for a job. We need to work. We got to have income. Got to have a society that functions. But I think we could have more balance. I think we could have 4-day work weeks. I think we could have a lower bottom to the economy, meaning that you could have a higher minimum wage, basic health care, and you could still have corporations. You could still have millionaires, billionaires, and it would just be 1% of society wouldn't own 40% of the wealth. Right now, 1% of the society owns 40% of the wealth. 70% of Americans living paycheck to paycheck. I think we can come a little bit more in balance while still keeping America, great. But America's only great when a 1%er is running the country telling you it's great. It's great because he just passed corporate tax reform. And when he passed it, he didn't go into the middle class neighborhoods. He went to Mar-a-Lago, place right in Palm Beach, and he went to his wealthy friends and he said, it's quoted, I just made you a lot richer. And you got temporary tax cuts. And then by the time they expire, he's out of office. Good job. Free to be me. Everybody's faking like they love each other. Well, yeah, that's most part of life. But I've been there. And it's a forced love because you feel like you have to. And you feel like you need to be in a relationship during the holidays. Like if, God forbid, if you're single during the holidays, you get anxious because you feel like I should be in a relationship. You shouldn't. You should avoid divorce. You should avoid having children that you regret. Leave the chat room. I don't want to hear that. Well, what I can tell you, it's a disaster. Ice thesis. How do you think the traffic will be tomorrow? A lot of accidents? Oh yeah, total disaster. Now look, I'm not going to lie to you, even in Florida, down here, I see accidents every day. Doesn't matter if it's a holiday or a regular day. And what I could tell you, drive slow, don't follow people, and try to avoid rush hours. Not easy, but yeah, but for me, living out of my car, I have the luxury. Like once in a while when I get anxious and I feel I have to rush, I say, Sam, where are you rushing to? You can, wherever you want to go is your home. So I either take a different route or I go with the flow of traffic or I just readjust my plans. Because when you have a house or when you're obligated to go somewhere, it's like you're on a shot clock and you have to do certain things a certain way or else your whole day's screwed up. For me, I said, look, I don't need to go through that madness. I've lived that madness. Again, take what I'm saying in context, because I've lived a full life at 38. I've done more than most people will do. I've had a home. I've done all these things I'm telling you I've done. And what I could tell you is, at this point, I choose to live this life because I don't want all the aggravation anymore. It's too much of a show. It's a disaster. But I've also got to experience it, so I don't want to take that experience from you, and I don't want to force you to be me because you should be you. Good job. Shelly, I am up at 5 a.m. Good job. All my energy is in the mornings. I'm not mad at that. They say the most productive hours for the average human are between 8 a.m. to noon. Between 8 a.m. to noon is the most productive hours for the average human. So if you're going to get something done, it's usually going to get done in that time window. And then she says when she's done with that, come 8 p.m., she's got no energy. Shelly, good job. Tony, Sam, Wawa is good, but you got shits down there. Oh, sheets. Yeah, I've seen them. It all depends on the area I'm at. But sheets, I don't think they have fresh subs. I've never seen them prepare a vegetarian sub. Like Wawa has a sub making thing and they'll do a vegetarian sub. I don't know about sheets. I can't comment. And I don't see them as abundantly around as I do Wawa. But if they do, I have seen a couple of them. I've never ate a sub from there though. Thank you. Amtoff. So I guess depression is unburnt memories replayed. Whew, that's an interesting comment. Amtoff says, I guess depression is unburnt bad memories replayed. I think that's a pretty good comment. I remember on an episode of The Sopranos, which was an HBO movie about the mafia in New Jersey. I remember one of the mafia bosses, Tony, was seeing a psychiatrist, and the psychiatrist said, depression is anger turned inward. Depression is like anger with yourself, or you can't get out of your own head, or you're fighting yourself, you're replaying bad memories. All that's possible. All I've learned in life was, look, you got to let go of everything. Because every day it's so easy to make yourself sad. It's so easy to make yourself depressed. You got to let go of everything, and you got to separate yourself from what's hurting you. You have to separate yourself from the relationships that are hurting you. You have to separate yourself from the gambling that is hurting you. You got to separate yourself from the failed business that is hurting you. You got to separate yourself from the failed, from unhealthy food. You got to separate yourself from whatever is causing these memories. Because if you don't, your life's on replay. And even when your life isn't on replay, even when you're living your best life, which I feel I am, it's still hard to keep yourself in a good place. And don't let anyone guilt trip you about like that's bad, because most people are popping prescription pills just to keep in a good place. And there's nothing wrong with prescription pills if you need them and if they're... So again, I'm not making a blanket statement. What I'm saying is most people are miserable. That's just my life observation. I'm not going to, And to avoid that disaster, you have to take as good care of yourself as possible. And then even when you do that, it's very hard to stay in a good place. And you're going to have moments when you're sad, when you're depressed, and you got to just feel them, express them, and then let them go. And that's, all that's to it. And you got to make the most of the day. Free to be me. You're a real guy. Not bad guy. I'm not mad. Thank you. Apathy. Hey, Apathy. What's up, man? How do you find the will to be hopeful and positive, Sam, when things are so grim? That's a great question. I think I just do what I just said. I make the most of each day. I let go of what I can't control. I try to take good care of myself, and I try to separate myself from whatever's making me sad, mad, or angry, or whatever. And I just put one foot in front of the other. There's no magic to it. There's days that you don't feel like going on. And you just put one foot in front of the other. Here's the bottom line. If you choose to give up in life, you don't make your life easier, you make your life harder. Because even if you give up, even if you give into the sadness, guess what this world does? It kicks you while you are down. If you give up, if you just say, fuck it, I'm totally giving up on life. You know what the world says? Here's a fucking kick. So you know what? You might as well not give up, because the world's just going to keep kicking you. That's what I've learned. Thank you. Good comment. Ice thesis. Whenever I was around the dinner table, there was many pointless political debates. Look, even on this chat room, there could be at times. I try to keep it like my zone, but I'm sure there's a lot of times people hear what I have to say. They don't agree with it. But that's what I'm trying to say. Like, you should only be around people you vibe with. Now, when you're in Congress, when you're in Senate, you should have a diverse opinion. You should debate. When you're in your personal house, it shouldn't be like a debate hall in Congress. I mean, it should be like, it's a disaster. Look, at the end of the day, you could try to see things. You could try to compromise with your father. He likes Trump. You don't like Trump. But at the end of the day, he likes Trump, and his kids don't like him for a reason. He's a contentious asshole just like Trump is. And there's nothing that's going to change that. He wants people to stand for the anthem, but you know what? He's an asshole. And that's the bottom line truth. And you're never going to get along with him because you just don't agree with him. And, you don't like assholes. I don't care what you try. Now, look, if you were in Congress, you got to compromise with assholes. When you're in your personal house eating Thanksgiving, you don't have to compromise with assholes. Get the hell out of here. That's what I say. Don't even go. Ice Jesus. Oh, I read that. Good job. Joyride, what's up, man? Sam, why don't you run for president? I might. If I can become independently wealthy like Trump, then I can just tell everyone go F himself. I'm gonna pass middle and lower class tax reform, and I'm gonna shove it right up to corporations. But I'm still gonna keep the corporations wealthy. But we're gonna have a more even playing field. Mar-a-Lago is now gonna be a parking lot for all nomads, and everyone is mandatory no underwear. I just made a new Constitution amendment. No underwear allowed in the United States of America. Let us stand for the anthem. Good job. Ice Jesus. How many blankets do you have back there? I got a 25-degree sleeping bag. I don't know why I still keep it for when I go back to New Jersey. And I have 5 blankets. 2 I use for my head, 2 I use for cushion, and 1 I use to put over me when it gets a little bit cool. Some nights in Florida it gets cool in the middle of the winter, but most nights I'm just totally ass naked and just living a dream, frolicking around in my quilts. Apathy. Serenity prayer. Yeah, I think the serenity prayer, my sister went to different rehabs and they did the serenity prayers, help me. Look, but I know people that went to 3 rehabs and they still struggle with drugs their whole life and they even end up overdosing. It's still a battle. And I remember I went to my mom to different AA meetings because she was trying to figure out as a parent, how does she handle her child that's struggling with drugs? And she had ran into another parent and my mom was desperate because she didn't know what to do. And so she went to this guy and my mom said, look, I'm just here because I'm trying to understand how do I help my daughter. And the guy said to her, look, I lost my son to drugs. And you know what I could tell you? There's no answer. You can kick them out and they may still choose to do drugs. You can keep them in their house. You can keep them in your house and they may still choose to do drugs. There's no answer. You got to do the best what you can and what you think you want to do. But either decision you make, there's no guarantee. Even if you say this is serenity prayer 20 times, it may help, but there's no guarantee. But I believe in the basis of the serenity prayer, which is let go. That's kind of like what I said. Like, how do you deal with depression, anxiety? You just got to let go. You got to make the most of the day. You got to stay active. You got to try to be healthy. You got to try to separate yourself from things that are not healthy for you, and that includes drugs. But that's not easy. But that's what you got to do. And you got to separate yourself from friends, family members, and lovers. If not, disaster. Joyride. Hey, I live in my van, love and respect. With my dog, I'm not mad at that. I stay warm with 1 high-quality down blanket. You could do that, depending on where you're living. Even when it gets colder than 10 degrees outside, no heater ever. Well, that's interesting. Now, in Jersey last year, it was negative below 0, and what I can tell you, it was cold. But yeah, look, if that works for you and you're happy with your dog, love and respect, man. Love and respect. I love dogs. Allie, hey, Allie. Hey, I need a job at Fruit of the Loom. Yeah, no. If you get a job at Fruit of the Loom and I become president, it's going to be a disaster for you. You're going to go bankrupt. Why? It's going to be mandatory. Mandatory. Forget about it. Now we're in a dictatorship. I'm the president. No one wear underwear except women, because I do like panty porn. So I want women to wear underwear. I'm not going to lie about that. All right, good job. Free to be me. Laugh out loud. No underwear. Yep. I shall, except for women. I'm going to make an exception. Good job. But I don't want them to see. Everyone do what they want. But for me, I'm not wearing underwear. Ice thesis. Knowing what you do know about car living, would have you done anything differently? I've adapted to the different environments. So when I was in New Jersey, there was a different way to live based on the environment. There wasn't as many campgrounds. The weather was different. I had to adapt. When I'm in Florida, there's more campgrounds. I have to use them because there's less free parking. I have to pay more, but there's more areas to do different things. I mean, adaptation is your number 1 rule. what happens is the average person after 8 months living in their car doesn't want to do it anymore. If they're doing it by choice, if they're doing it because they don't want to do it, they got no choice, so it doesn't matter. But if you're doing it by choice, after 8 months, you'll give up on it because it's constant adaptation that wears on you. Even me, like eventually, I could possibly end up getting a home base because at some point you just get tired of going to campground, moving around. Now, luckily, I've done 15 years owning my house, so I know that I'm not missing anything. But certainly, too, the other part of the equation is if I lost my remote job, I mean, I may have to get a home base if I had to get another job in an area where it was fixed. There's many factors. But what I can tell you, the number one factor is you have to be willing to adapt. And you have to be willing to adapt. And you have to be willing to adapt. If you can handle that, there's no guarantee you're going to like this lifestyle. But that's what I would say. Isis was the most nervous night in your car the first one. The first 2 months were nervous. The first knock on my door by a cop was nervous. Every time someone knocks on my door, which is very rare, but 10% of the time when someone knocks at your door at night, it makes you nervous. But now 2 years into it, it's just like anything. How was your first day at your job, at your brand new job? It was nervous. When you start a new job, you're nervous for the first couple months. It takes about 6 to 8 months before you figure out your job or your new environment. You're adapting. And so that's why anything in life, it's going to take 6 to 8 months to adapt to something. And then some people say after 6 to 8 months, after they adapted, they say, look, I don't like this. I don't feel settled. And then they go back to a regular lifestyle. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just like there's nothing wrong with celebrating with family members for the holidays. I've done it. You have to decide what works for you. You don't want to be peer pressured into a life that doesn't work for you. You don't want to be peer pressured into buying a house because that's what society says. And then you end up finding out it's a disaster. Now you're living like the rest of society, paycheck to paycheck, in a state that doesn't inspire you, in a house that doesn't inspire you. You're supposed to live by friends and family members. That's what your parents did. Then you find out again, you're living in a state and a house that doesn't inspire you. You're supposed to be in a relationship. You're supposed to go to friends, family's house. You're supposed to get together with people during the holidays. That's what the holidays is about. Most people are miserable. As an adult, you're no longer playing in the game, in the show that your parents or that the previous generation put before you. As an adult, you're playing in your own game. You're starring in your own movie. And you have to direct your movie as such. Love and respect. Where are we at? Free to be me. Drug addicts, family or not, get the hell out of there. The bottom line is you have to love and you have to have compassion on everyone. I've grown as I've got more mature and I've failed in life in different areas. I have compassion on anyone who struggles with drugs or anything else or food. Food's a drug. So a lot of people they get down on people who do opioids or heroin, but guess what? You're obese. You're overweight. You're a drug addict with food. Food is the number 3 killer of preventable deaths. Obesity. So I've learned compassion. So I don't judge anyone, and I have love for everyone. But for me to be in a healthy space, I have to separate myself from them, from that environment. And that's what my man Free to Be Me is saying. That's what I'm saying when I say get the hell out of there. I'm not saying get the hell out of there because you're better than them or because, no, we all struggle in our own ways. But I'm saying get the hell out of there because you're not going to overcome your struggle by being around that. Like there's even a scripture that says, be careful like when you get people out of sin that you yourself don't become overcome with sin yourself. You gotta get the hell out of there. Bottom line, it's a disaster. Allie, how often do you open your sunroof at night? Not often. At night, I would say about 10% of the time. In the middle of the winter, sometimes I do. Like in the summer, sometimes I do when I'm at a campground, there's nice stars in the sky. But sometimes I can just let more flies in, especially down here in Florida. Probably about 10% of the time or less. Ice Jesus. Good night, Sam. Good night to you, brother. Thank you for joining. Stay safe tomorrow in the rush of people going to grandma's house. Ice Jesus, I got love for you, brother. I appreciate you. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving with your family member, friends, and with yourself. And I hope you continue to be a leader, and I hope you continue to have a great, positive, successful life. Good job. Tony, what's up, Tony? Hey, Sam. I finally got some Skinny Pop. No more chips for me. Amen. And I pray that you got the right kind, brother. Salt and pepper Skinny Pop. Okay? Because that regular Skinny Pop, that original, that don't get you right, man. You got to get that salt and pepper. Okay? Love and respect. Joyride, Sam. I'll keep you in my thoughts and prayers. Thank you. You keep it real, man. Joyride, I appreciate that, and I will do the same for you. Thank you. Glenn O, greetings from Fort Worth, Texas. Love and respect to Lone Star State. What's up, brother? Praise the Lord. Let's take a hydration break, guys. Yeah, I'm thankful. I am thankful. But I'm also thankful that I've got to live a full life. I mean, I've wanted some of the things that I say now are disaster, and I've got to experience them. So I have to be very careful, you know, like when I'm sharing this, that I always keep putting this disclaimer in, that some of this depends on the season of your life. Look at that. Isn't that like magical? Some of it is individual taste. But I just want you to be very careful not to get peer pressured into living a life that you didn't want for yourself, but you were too naive to know better, and so now you get so deep into it that it's hard to find your way out. Peppa Pig, hello Sam, love your conversations, thank you. I just introduced your channel to my younger brother and sister. They enjoy your inspiration too. Well, praise the Lord. I hope they keep liking it. Well, maybe one day though they'll say I don't like this guy anymore, and best friends become strangers. That happens too. But for the time we are together, I say love and respect. And even for people that say, look, I don't like this guy anymore, I still want the best for them, because I don't wish bad upon anyone. Love and respect. Tony. Hey, Glenn, how you doing? I'm not mad at that. Glenn, Tony, and you? Question mark. Random videos. If someone you don't like gives you a gift, should you accept it? Good. That's a good question. That's an interesting question. Gifts will always be put back in your face. Very rarely will you get a gift with no strings. Even me, at times, I remember giving gifts to someone, and that's, you don't owe me nothing. Maybe like, like a hot girl, I would give a gift. So, maybe like a cup of coffee. Should you accept a gift? That's a good question. You can accept it if you want. This is the answer. You can accept it if you want, and that's it. But in your mind, you can't guilt trip yourself that you owe them. And if you give a gift, you can't guilt trip someone else that they owe you, because you'll be on both sides of that coin. So that's kind of like where I'm at. Good question. Jesus, happy Thanksgiving. Thank you. Happy to you. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Jesus, love and respect. Free to be me. Wish I could have woke up at 38 and now I'm 47. A lot of regret. Well, thank you for sharing, brother. I appreciate you. Free to be me. Appreciate you, brother, a lot, man. Thank you. Yeah, look, we can't beat ourselves up either, though. I don't care if you're 47, 57, 67, or 27. I know life is painful, but we got to let go. We got to let go. No matter where we're at in the journey, we have to let go. We can't beat ourselves up anymore, because beating yourself up is not going to do anything. It's like giving up. It's not going to do anything. It's going to only hurt you. So I say, like, why not give up on life? Because guess what? The world's going to keep kicking you. So why should you keep holding on to the regrets? Because guess what? It's just going to keep hurting you. Let go of everything. Let go of everything, including your underwear. If I can get you to let go of your thoughts and let go of your underwear, guess what? You'll be happier. I think so. Good job. D-Chaz, what's up, man? Oh, I skipped one. I got to come back. Sorry. I skipped a couple. I like comments. Good. MTOF. Once my friends and family helped me rebuild a dirt bike engine. Oh, they threw that back in your face. They held it over my head for years. Yep. That's what happened to me. My father gave me $5,000 when I was in trouble, like in my mid-20s, when I lost my job and I had my house. And I offered to pay him back at that time. And he said, Sam, you're my son. You don't have to pay me back. 10 years later or more, we got into an argument. Don't you know he threw that back in my face? And you know what I did? I wrote him a check for $5,000 and I changed my number. What type of person holds something like that over your head? To me, look, someone has the right to do it, but as soon as someone holds something over my head, guess what I do? I write them the hell out of my life. Because life's hard enough. I don't want to be around somebody like holding something over my head. What a fucking disaster. Tony. I'm all right making Black Forest ham right now. I got 12 hours left. Going to be good. Well, Tony, I want you to enjoy, brother. I want people to do them. And I'm happy for you. Tell me how it comes out. I actually saw today in Publix, they have in the vegetarian section, I think I showed on one of my videos, they had a roast beef, all vegetarian. I guess it was made from soy and stuff, but you had to have an oven. If I had an oven, I'd probably cook it. I could probably cook it under a campfire, but it's too much work. I don't like work. I don't even like wearing underwear. You think I want to cook something for 30 minutes? Hell no. T-Jazz. Hey, Sam. You finally made it to Florida. I'm very thankful. And living a dream. As good as it's going to get, except the only part that's missing is I'm not independently wealthy. Now, if I meet a sugar mama, will I accept her money so that I don't have to work anymore? Well, then she's going to hold it over my head the rest of my life. I don't know. That's why I hope I can be able to do it some other way. What's independently wealthy? That's my only other thing I got to check off my list. Other than that, I've fully accomplished everything. Any other goals just to be chill? Yeah, I want to be independently wealthy. Whether it's living off investment or YouTube or something, I will want something to spring that I own all of my time. I just do YouTube. I do whatever I want. And that's my ultimate goal. That's the only thing left on my checkbox list of life. I don't want kids. I don't want marriage. I don't want a different state. I don't want to travel around the world. I don't even want a different car as long as this holds up. All I want is to be independently wealthy and to stay healthy. Of course, all those things, which I've already lost 200 pounds. So I've checked everything off the list except independently wealthy. Then I'll probably frolic around for many years. And then when I'm 70, I'll probably run for president like Trump. I'll probably get it. And I'll make it easier for most of society to have a better quality life. Why? Because I care about people. But I also want to have no underwear on and live by the beach. Good job. What we got? Gleno. Yummy, Tony. I'm not mad at that. Gleno. I'm going to be lazy and hit buffet tomorrow. Gleno, I'm not mad at you. I did that for years. Gleno. What I want you to do, brother, I want you to enjoy the shit out of that buffet. I want you to have everything you want because I did that for many years. And I want you to have no guilt about it. And I want you to have a great day. That's what I want. And come in live tomorrow and tell me how the buffet was. Tony, Glenn, I ain't mad at that. Me neither. My grandfather can't cook anymore. So it's my job to keep the tradition going. I'm not mad at that. You know, one buffet I would probably still do is a seafood buffet. Because I just 10% of the time I still eat seafood, just shrimp and crab. I would OD on a crab and shrimp buffet. Oh yeah, I would do that. But they usually don't have good crab and shrimp at a buffet. Gleno, all my immediate family is in Idaho, and I'm in Texas. Well, I'm not mad at that. I think I'd rather be in Texas than Idaho. Texas closer to Florida than Idaho, and Texas I think has better climate in my opinion. Peppa Pig. I had a Quino burger. The other day, it was delicious. I'm not mad at that. Have you had one before? No, I haven't. I only eat plant-based diet. I don't know. Is that plant-based? I don't think so. Is that? Who knows? No, that's it. Good job. I'm going to have a banana. After I do this live with my banana, I haven't had my Starbucks yet because I was running a little bit late because I was walking on the beach. I'm going to have... Oh, it's vegan? I'm going to check it out. Thank you for the suggestion. I'll check it. Wait, maybe I have had that. I gotta check it out. I don't want to say I have. I'll check that out. Thank you. But after this, what I'm looking forward to is my nightcap. I'm gonna have a small pike coffee from Starbucks. I'm gonna have a cup of soy milk on the side, a banana, and some health bars. I'm looking forward to that. Look at this. This is the health bars I like from Target. Health Warrior peanut butter. I like them. Good job, Gleno. I seen a lady on the Food Channel making burgers out of pasta. That's pretty interesting. Some people really love to cook, and I think that's a gift. And I don't want to discourage anyone from doing that. It is true, you know, that some people equivalate them cooking and them offering you food with love. And if you don't accept their food, and if you don't like their cooking, it's like disrespectful. Many cultures, many people, that's how they do. But again, your health is priority. Sometimes but I don't like when they say, well, just taste it. You don't have to eat it, just taste it. I don't want to taste it. I don't want that shit going in my body. Now, I want to show love and respect to that. Like, that's your way of showing affection. But you have to show love and respect to the fact that this is what I want to do with my life. So there's got to be like a equal yoke, a equal respect. Leno. Oh, I read that. Tony. See, I hate people hold things over your head all the time, brother. They don't know that the weight will end up good comment here. The weight will end up straining and crushing you both. Tony, great comment. Tony's basically saying when someone holds something over your head, it's basically just choking out the relationship, and it's going to die. I totally agree with that. Great comment. I totally agree. Joyride. If I am given the gift of life, should I pray to the Easter Bunny and to the Tooth Fairy, or does God hold us accountable for what we believe? Well, look, in many instances, I'd rather have the Tooth Bunny and the Tooth Fairy than a religious dogma society worshiping statues or speaking in tongues or running around giving their pastors 10%. I want you to be filled with the Holy Spirit, with God that lives inside you, because you recognize God lives inside you through you seeking God on your own terms, in your own way, doing your own research, and you expressing your love for God in your own way. And if what you're doing is not hurting anyone, that's a prayer. That's an expression of your love for God. No matter how you define it, if what you're doing is not hurting anyone, and if you're trying to do the best you can, you're worshiping God. If you're doing anything else, it's religious dogma. And I've lived both lives. I've lived that life too. I spent 10 years deep into a church, part of the leadership. And I almost got lost in it. What I can tell you is I believe in seeking God. I believe in some of the basic foundation principles. But what I'm just saying is the core message is treat people right, including yourself. Don't hurt anyone. And if you do that, you fulfilled all the obligation of God's law. Good job. Silent River, what's up, man? Good to see you. Yolanda, hey, Yolanda. Hey, Sammy, just sliding through. Well, I appreciate that. Love and respect, my sexy friend, Yolanda. Love and respect. Good job, Yolanda. Free to be me. TGIF. Got a black bean burger. Oh, great. I'm not mad at that. Good job, free to be me. Yeah, I used to, well, again, my favorite food, when I was a real foodie, I mean, I ate everything, but it was definitely fried chicken was my top favorite food. I like Chinese food. I like Mexican food. I liked Italian food last, even though I'm 100% Italian. I like pizza, but I didn't like pasta and stuff and gravy. Fried chicken, Mexican food. There was a period I was living with a friend. He was Puerto Rican, and his used to make the incredible beans, like with pork and different. It was amazing. I could eat that all day. That wasn't actually too bad, but I guess I just eat a lot, and then other stuff too. I don't know. I mean, look, I used to love talking about food. I was heavy in the food game, but at this point in my life, I like eating a plant-based diet. So everything in life has a season. That's it. All right, good job. Well, it's a nice night. It's about 75 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'm in a campground for another couple nights. And I'm going to decide, look how magical that looks. Then I'm going to decide what I want to do. If I want to go to another campground, if I want to do some boondocking, some free camping. But being that I'm going to be off work for the next couple of days, I'm just going to travel around and see what I want to do. Gleno, there are more Mexican restaurants than any other food in Texas. Well, that doesn't surprise me because you're right next to the border, so the culture intermingles. Just like in New Jersey, there's probably, well, there definitely used to be more Italian restaurants than anything else because all the Italians came over on Ellis Island and then they migrated to New York and New Jersey. So it's all relative to your geographic location. So that makes sense. Free to be me. Holla, no pork. I'm not mad at that. Yeah, pork is the first thing you should give up. Pork. I remember a pastor who had got a stomach disease or something. He went to a doctor, and his doctor said, do you know how long the average food takes to digest through your body and then get come out and waste, and basically like taking a number 2? He goes, anywhere from 1 to 3 days, your body digests something and you poop it out. When you eat pork, it can take up to 2 weeks for your body to digest it and for it to get out of your system. To break down pork, and pork is bacon, anything, even sausage, all that stuff. Bits and pieces of it get caught in your intestines and colon cancer and everything else. It's science that higher levels of cancer are found with people who tend to be more meat eaters. And pork is the worst meat you can eat. Chicken and turkey, probably the best, but certainly when you throw all that gravy in there, not good. Seafood is the best type of quote-unquote meat. Tap. Hey there, what's up, Tap Channel? Joyrod, Sam. Do you know anything about the family ethnicity, about your family ethnicity and history? Again, I know both my parents from Italy. I think one was from Naples, one was from Sicily, I believe. Outside of that, not much. I mean, I was brought up in America. So my grandparents from Italy. I was brought up in America. I grew up around diverse cultures, diverse ethnicities, so I'm kind of like well-rounded. And what I found is everyone's just human. Everyone takes a shit. There's some assholes in every group. Some people are nice, some people are bad. And what I've learned in life is I'm just doing me. People I vibe with, they're going to stay in my life. People I don't vibe with, they're not going to stay in my life. Doesn't matter if we're the same ethnicity or different. And that's how I kind of live my life. Tap Channel. What are we talking about in here? Any drone creators here? No drone creators. We're just talking about living in your car with no underwear. If that excites you, you're in the right place. If you don't like that, you damn sure ain't going to find drone creators in here. Good job, Tony. Gleno. I'm in Maryland, so we have seafood out the butt. Yeah, I know. I believe me. I dated a couple girls from Maryland. I know about Maryland. Maryland's pretty good. Maryland's got a lot of job opportunities. But I love crab cakes. Yeah, I understand that. A lot of overweight people in Maryland, too. I'm not mad at them. And Sam, they have veggie ones. Not bad either. Well, yeah, eventually we are going to a plant-based diet in America. It's going to take years, generations. But we're getting there. I mean, 10, 20 years ago, you didn't have a vegetarian section in a supermarket. Now you do. So we're getting there. It's going to take a long time, though. But what I can tell you is, look, is when you live in a colder climate, such as Maryland, you put on an extra layer of fat because it's a survival mechanism. It's part of human evolution to survive. When you're down in Florida, you don't need to put on all that weight. On average, it does seem like people are skinnier down here. Now, of course, there's still overweight people. But on average, it's a healthier lifestyle, in my opinion. Gleno. Those DNA tests are risky. Oh, everything. I seen a doc on 60 Minutes where Ancestry.com, oh, yes, a scam, where private info about DNA to FBI. Yeah, all that's a scam, in my opinion. What does it matter? Look, you're human. I don't understand why all that matters. It's just pride. People have too much pride in their ethnicity. Just be who you are. I mean, you should know your background. You should respect your background. We should all know each other's backgrounds. But at the end of the day, we're all just human. The world would be a better place if people looked at it like that, but they don't. They look at ethnicities like a gang. It's a shame. We should all just look at each other as human. Some good, some bad. Tap. Where are you located now? Florida, the magical Florida. Fort Lauderdale. I see the palm trees. I'm somewhere magical. I'm talking from Chicago. Shout out to the Windy City. A lot of money in Chicago. And we'll be heading to Orlando. Praise the Lord. Good job. See you in Florida tomorrow. Safe travels, my friend. And I wish you nothing but the best. And I hope you find some drone creators. But all I can tell you is about free living with no underwear. Good job. Gleno. Tony. And if you guys like the video, please click the thumbs up. Okay? Share the video. I'm telling you guys a lot of life lessons here, including about wearing no underwear. Good job. Gleno. Tony. I've been trucking all over Maryland. Had no idea how steep the mountains are. Yeah, no, Maryland and there, Pennsylvania, I mean, mountain land. I like flat land. That's why I like Florida. I like flat. Black sheep. What's up, brother? I'm not a vegan. All right, well, you got to do you. I'm not mad at that. But those morning start vegetarian chicken nuts are straight fire. I'm not mad at that. Look, one step closer to health is a step forward. If you have a goal to be a vegetarian, but you end up backsliding 10% of the time, guess what you do? You just improved your life by 90%. If you have a goal to be a vegetarian, but you eat meat 90% of the time, guess what you do? You just improved your life by 10%. Anytime you can improve your life, even if it's a little bit, it helps. Every healthier choice matters. Every step forward matters. So to me, look, that's a win. Good job. I'm not mad at that. Tony, Gleno. Oh yeah, I know the mountains. Here are no jokes, surprisingly deceptive. I hate the mountains. Love and respect to all my guys out there that like the mountains. But I like flat land. I've traveled up into the mountains of Vermont. Talking about mountains? Mountains. Mountains of Pennsylvania, mountains of Maryland, even the mountains in North Carolina. And I hate driving the mountains. I hate living in the mountains. I like flat land where I can see everything. Palm trees, MILFs, and everything is at a glance. Good Wi-Fi. But that's just me. If you like the mountains, what do I think you should do? I think you should live in the mountains and you should enjoy it every day. Good job. Gleno. Tony, I've hit some good snowstorms in the mountains of Maryland. I'm not mad at you. Good job. Oh, it's magical. It's magical. I'm trying to tell you. It's a disaster out there, but in here in my car right now with those pillows in the background, it's a miracle. Isn't it a miracle on 34th Street? I spent Christmas time on 34th Street in Manhattan, and what I can tell you is nothing's more magical than being in my car in Florida during the holidays. You want to talk about miracle on 40 miracle on 34th Street? Talk about a miracle down in Palm Tree Land. That's where the real miracle is. I don't know how there could be a miracle in Manhattan. There's a miracle down here. Hot MILFs walking around with shorts on in the middle of the night. You know, I'm over here with a tank top at the end of November. The Publix, plentiful Publix with palm trees. Beaches for miles. Does life get any better than this? If I'm believing there's going to be a heaven. And believe me, I think heaven's got to have palm trees. Now, I can't say for sure, but if I had to bet, I'm going to have to say heaven's got palm trees. Now, but love and respect to my guy Glenn O, or anyone who likes the mountains, or anybody like, I guess heaven's going to have a mountain. But for me, heaven's going to be a flat land with palm trees. That's what I think. Good job. Tony. Yes, Sam. People are kind of big, especially in Baltimore. Good God, it's horrible. That's why they wrote me she is my friend. I'm not mad at that. I know. Love and respect to all my big people out there. Again, if I had to choose, who do I want to be with, big people or skinny people? Big people. I'll take big people all the time. Why? Because I believe on average, overweight people are happier than skinny people. Now, if I had to choose would I want to date an overweight person or a skinny person, I'll choose option C, none of the above. Because I don't want to date J-Lo and I don't want to date Precious. I don't want to date either one. Why? Because they both end in a disaster. I want to watch free porn and live with no underwear. I don't want to date hot girls. I don't want to date ugly girls. What I want to do is be single. So your beauty doesn't impress me. All it does is maybe give me an image to masturbate to, but I don't want to marry you. I don't want to date you. I don't want to go to Thanksgiving with you. What do I want to do? I want to be alone. Why? Because everything else is a disaster. Good job. Joyride. You don't know what a mountain is if you haven't been out west. Well, that's fair. I haven't been out west. Love and respect. Glenn O. Is it still in the low 30s at night? Oh, throw up emoji. Here in Fort Worth? Oh, it's still 30 in Fort Worth? Wow, that's cold. I didn't know it stays that cold. I love Florida. Florida is the warmest state in the United States of America. And I say, praise the Lord. Sailing John. Sailing John, what's going on, brother? I've been thinking about you. But I don't want to put any pressure on you. Like, what's going on? Let's see what Sailing John's doing. Sailing John. Hey, Sam, going all out since over the years, I've seen all of Florida Monday heading west. What? All the way. Yes, a lot of hot shorts here. Much love. Wait, hold on a second. He says, hey, Sam, going all out since all over the years. I've seen all of Florida Monday heading west all the way. What do you mean heading west? You're heading west to Tampa or you're heading west to California? What does that mean? And are you living in a van? Glenn O. Joyride. Or Sailing John, are you a guy from Idaho living in your pickup behind a Wawa? It's all right, even if you are. I still love you. Glenn O. Joyride. I've been trucking in every state. I'm not mad at that. Trucking, making some good money. Donor Pass is California is the most dangerous. What does Donor Pass mean? Oh, I guess that's a place maybe. But shout out to all truck drivers out there. Love and respect. It's a great business. I mean, you're on the road a lot, but if you enjoy to do it, I think that's a great way to make a living. Joyride. Glenn O, yes. Free to be me. Big mills all day. I'm not mad at you. Again, I had a friend, small. He was a short guy. At that time, he was in shape, and all he wanted to do was bang big girls. We called him Heavy D. Overweight lover. Am I mad at him? No. You should. I got love for the big girls. I got love for the skinny girls. I don't want to date either one. I don't want to be around either one. The most insecure people I've ever been around are the hottest people. I've dated beautiful women. I'm very thankful for that. I'm very humbled by that. I've got my heart broken. But what I can tell you is when dating the beautiful women, they're very insecure. Very insecure. And it's a disaster. That's my experience. Luke, Well, brother, hope you have a great night, Luke. I love you. I hope you have a good night. Don't worry about anything about your family. Just you live the best life you can. You're in a season of your life where you have to focus on self-development and love and respect. Luke, I appreciate you always, my man. Luke, you are appreciated here. You are loved. And no matter what you decide, you're loved. Love and respect. Tony, well, at Glenn, thank you, Luke. Have a happy Thanksgiving. I'll see you tomorrow. Tony, well, at Glenn, glad you made it through. I've been caught myself. 2010 was stuck 3 days on Mountain Road. Thank God for the heater and bug out bag. I'm not mad at that. Glenn O, Donor Pass is the steepest pass in California. Well, you just told me something. I didn't know that. Thank you for sharing. That's interesting. I never heard that. I've often shared in this channel. I used to like to watch ice truckers, like during the season of Alaska where the weather gets cold. I guess like certain waterways freeze up and they would pass that. I mean, they dramatized that, but I thought it was interesting. Yeah, truck driving is a unique gift, man. It really is. Obviously, the economy needs that. I mean, to get those goods to different places, truck driving is a big part of the economy. There's no doubt about that. But I know I watched this one guy's channel where he bought a big rig to become his own owner and operator. But what he's finding out is there's a lot of maintenance, and he took a financial loss, which is okay. We've all done. Because he probably was better off just working for a company rather than owning his own truck and trying to run it. But like I say, most businesses fail. That's the lie of capitalism, that, you're going to have your own business and be successful. You may, but if you do, you're going to beat the odds. 80% of businesses basically fail. It's not easy. St. John, living in my van starting Monday. Okay. Yes, going to take a long ride. Cali, then back. I'm not mad at you. Yes, it's me, for real. St. John, brother, if you, one is I love you and I want you to have a great trip. Two is, even if you were whoever and you lived in a house, and I love you. And because you know what? Me and you vibe, and you've always treated me with love. I treat you with love. And guess what? You don't have to be who I want you to be, and I don't have to be, and that's why me and you cool. Like, I want you to be you, and I want you to live your best life, and I want to be me, and we've always shown each other that love and respect, so I never want you to feel like anything else. And so I say, brother, I love you. I want you to keep coming to this chat room, and I want you to keep me updated on your life, and it's love and respect. Luke, thank you for the love. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Spread the love, not war, miss. Let's spread love. Leno, I've hauled produce all across America. That's amazing. I quit long hauling last year. God bless you, man. 28 years. Good for you, brother. Thumbs up, man. 28 years. Gleno, let me ask you this, Gleno. Did you work for a company? Did they give you a pension or a retirement package, and are you full-time retired? I'm very interested in that. D-Chaz, I might head up to Alaska. I'm not mad at you. Next year. In Washington right now. Oh, it's snowing? Yeah, too dreary. I got a good friend that moved to Washington. I could never do it for me because it's like suicide central. I mean, as far as the weather. But what I've learned is, just like different animals, different humans, they operate better in different environments. So I know for me, I'm my best in this hot tropical environment. But I definitely say I know people who the hot tropical environment of Florida would not be good for them. So it is all individual. And there's no one answer for everything. And that's the beautiful part about life. And that's what makes the world go round. And that's what makes different states have different populations and different people. So I am all for people defining their own path and living their own life, and change your mind whenever you want. Not mad at that. Good job. Praise the Lord. While I was waiting for Glenn O, as I was interested in his retirement package from trucking. I mean, I'm in no pressure to end the live feed. Is the video and the sound still coming in good? But I don't like to stretch things out either. But tonight, I don't have to wake up early tomorrow, because I don't have work tomorrow, next day, which I'm very thankful for that. Thankful for my job, though, too. Gotta have money. Yeah, so Glenn O was saying he was retired after 28 years of trucking. I mean, I got 22 years, but I couldn't retire in 6 more years. I have to basically, I got to work until my 60s if I want to live a comfortable lifestyle the way I want to live it. I was talking to a friend today, a good guy. He's been a positive person in my life, and he's almost at retirement age. I think he's like 59. And and I know he's done good for himself, and he's managed his money right. He's in a good position. And I said to him, I said, brother, why the hell are you still working? You're in a good position. And he goes, yeah, Sam, I know. He goes, but he's got a certain reason why he's working, make a little bit more money until he's at like retirement age. But I just find it amazing. I guess money is a motivating factor. Money's an incentive for all of us, even when we have enough, myself included. I guess in some ways that's what makes society function, but in some ways does it hold us back from doing what we want? I don't know. There's a counterbalance there. But I thought about that today. And all I can say is I am thankful that even though I still have to work, and I'll have to work for the foreseeable future, unless some hot milk gives me $1 million, is that at least I'm living where I want to live, and I'm living how I want. So I got to be very thankful for that. Because, really, the only, and even my job is a blessing. I mean, look, you really can't have it any better other than, just not working. So, I got to be thankful for that. Living where you want to live is huge, huge. Free to be me, good. Peppy, oh, good. Thank you for letting me know the sound and the video is good. Thank you. Praise the Lord. Thank you. It's amazing. It matters where you park. Even if you have all the bars to your service, like I'm not using Wi-Fi, I'm using my Sprint Unlimited plan. Like some parking lots I park and I got all my bars, but I do a live feed and the video's choppy. Like I park, there's certain spots that I keep going back to because the live feed comes in good, even though I may have one less bar. It's interesting. Joyride. Ha. Yeah, I thrive in colder climate. I'm not mad at you. The heat and humidity kills me. Yeah, I've heard some people say that, and I do believe that to be true for some people. Opposite for me. The cold and cloudy weather killed me, but we're all different. That's beautiful. Leno says he has a 401k. He still has company insurance because of his time with the company. I've built up a rainy day savings account and now work part-time. Oh, okay, part-time for UPS. Okay. How old are you, Gleno, if you don't mind me asking? Free to be me. Work until we drop. Pretty much. That's true. That's the way the system's rigged, man. It's true. Tony, clear as a crystal, Sam. Praise the Lord. Thank you, brother. Luke, what are you going to do this weekend? I'm just going to explore Florida. I'm going to walk around the hot weather. It's going to be 80 degrees sunny. I'm going to go to the beach. I'm going to do some videos. I want to try to share some of Florida with you guys. I'll go live at night. Kind of like my normal thing without the pressure of work. I do want to explore some new campgrounds because I got to, my 2-week stay is up at a campground. So I got to explore some other ones. I've done some research. And there's still enough openings. Like, once it hits January, the campgrounds are really full. But right now, as I make this video, it's the end of November. For next month, there's still campground availability. I just got to move around a little bit. So I'm going to see. That's what I plan on doing. So, John, next month, already 2 years since Diana passed. Love and respect. I retired then at 62. Now turning 64. You're still pretty young. And what an awesome life. Amen. Not having to work. I'm not mad at that. You worked your life. If I don't want to, I'm not mad at you. Free forward. Sound John? Love and respect, brother. You got it right. Luke, pump up emoji. Good job. It's good to have fun. Look, it is a disaster out there, but we're trying to make the most of our lives, and that's all you can do. Sometimes you're going to say, what's life about? It's all meaningless. And you know what? You're right. It is. But what you should remember is the meaning of life is to make the most of each day. Try to treat people right, and that's it. Make the most of each day as best you can. Good job. Sound John, I'm camping for the first time this weekend at State Forest. Hope it goes well. Well, if it's at the State Forest in Jersey, what was the one in South Jersey? I did a video in there. It was a disaster. Right below Atlantic City. Disaster. Now, in New Jersey, state parks close, or there's only a couple of campgrounds in New Jersey, and they close, I think, at the end of November and December, and they close till April, because New Jersey, it's against the law to camp all year round. It's a disaster. That's why I came to Florida. Good job. Leno, I bought an older tour bus, 1999, from a record company that leased a bus to a band at Lone Star. I think I may have heard of them. It's a great investment. I'm not mad at you. It's in mint condition. That's interesting. Well, being that you're in a trucking business, I'm sure you're mechanically inclined because you almost have to be. If you're going to be a trucker, you're going to have to, you know, be mechanically inclined, or at least know some things. You're going to know some things as you experience it. So that'll work for you. That sounds like it plays to your strengths. Because I know I'm 52. You're still pretty young, man. It's my home on wheels. I like living mobile. You know, downside is as you get older, I don't know if you want to drive as much, but look, at the end of the day, live it up while you can. You certainly don't want to not live your life, and then you don't want to live your life from 35 to 75 based on how life is going to be at 75. I mean, you want to live your life now, and then once you get into your 70s, I think once you get into your 70s, then you have to start making decisions based on a possible long-term strategy. Now, you always have to have a long-term strategy in mind, but that's why, like I tell people, and that's like even when I was talking to my friend now, like, what are you waiting for? And he even recognized it. But once you get into your 70s, your options start to go down because, again, the average life expectancy is 78. Average. You can live longer. But, you know, certainly in your late 70s or even your mid 70s, I mean, are you going to be driving across the country? Probably not. You got to be careful with that. Don't live irresponsibly, but you got to be careful. Tony, Sam, you should go to St. Augustine. I've been there many times. Hit that Ripley's up. Ripley's, believe it or not, I've been there. I did a video, I think, from the St. Augustine Light Tower. Nice area, but it's not tropical. And in the winter, it's a little bit cool up there. I'm not saying I won't go back up there, but I like that area. But I got to be in South Florida during the winter. It's warm. It's good sleeping weather up there, but not during the day. It's not hot enough. But I may go up there. I also been to, what's the state campground up there? Anastasia State Park. I didn't really like that. I didn't like the campsites too much. But love and respect. Big Al, what's up, man? Just bought a 2010 Ford Transit Connect. Congratulations. I like the Transit Connects. They're small and cute, man. Going to try to find a cot online. Okay. On a sale for Black Friday. I'm not mad at that. Going somewhere warm in Ohio now. Love and respect to everyone in Ohio. What's the Ohio running back that used to play for Ohio? Damn, back in the day, man. He was a good running back. I really enjoyed watching him. I don't know. But was it Gary Hurst? Was Gary Hurst from Ohio? I think it was Gary Hurst. Then he went to the San Francisco 49ers. But I think it was Ohio. But all I can tell you is this. I remember looking at the Ford Transit even before I started thinking about car living. When I had an electrical contracting business, I looked at when the Ford Transits first came out, the Connects, the small ones. And I remember opening up the side door, and I had a vision that I just saw like a small twin mattress. You should do what you want. But if it was me, what I would do, you should do what you want. I would just go and buy a twin mattress with no box spring, no cot. I would just put that mattress right back there. Couple $100 mattress. Just put it right on the floor. That's it. But that's just me. But I'm not mad at you. I like the Ford Transit. Good car. Good luck, man. Free to be me. The hereafter is right now. I'm not mad at that. Good comment. Go forward and in peace. Free to be me. Great comment, man. I like that. I love when people say go in peace, and I love going forward. Good job. Sound John, with urgency. That's right. Gotta live life with urgency, because believe me, you got to go out there and get it. Because if you don't, no one's going to hand you anything, and this world's going to keep going by with or without you. Never forget that. Good job. Gleno, all I do for UPS is drop and hook loaded trailers. Well, that's work. And shuffle them to different locations within Fort Worth. Well, brother, you're doing a great service, man. That's work, so good for you, man. Joyride. Do you ever go to the Keys? I haven't. I had a friend that his father has a house in the Keys. He was just down there. I said, if you're free, give me a call. I was thinking about maybe going down there. I may go down there. But the Keys don't really, I don't know. I can't say they don't inspire me, but I feel trapped. I'm like a wild animal. I need a lot of area to roam. And that's why I like Florida. It's one of the biggest states, and I like to be able to just roam. Like, if I'm in the Keys, I can get out of there, but there's only one road really in and out. And I feel like I'm confined. I got to be able to roam. I'm a wild animal. So that's kind of like in my mind what I think about, but I may go visit it one time. Um, George, what's up, brother? Sam, what do you think your next ride will be? Right now, if I had to guess, it would be a Toyota Prius and then a Ford Transit Connect. That could change at any time. And right now, I'm happy with my Jeep Renegade. I have no plans on changing it. I have 104,000 miles. As long as it would hold up, it won't be a problem. I got no, like, I'm not in a rush to buy anything because I have everything I need. And the only reason I say a Toyota Prius next is because right now, the way my lifestyle is, I move so much. Because I could pretty much work where there's anywhere Wi-Fi, because I go to different campgrounds. If I had a Ford Prius, I would gain on efficiency with gas mileage. Right now, I get about 28 miles per gallon on the highway. I'll probably get about 50 on a Prius. And then after that, the reason I could see, as I get older, I'm 38 now, I would like to keep at least for five years more, I like to keep the Jeep. Then after that, if I did decide to get the Prius, keep that for 5-7 years. And then I'm close to being in my late 40s, early 50s. And when I'm at that age, then I see the need for getting more room, having a Ford Transit. Now, again, all this can change tomorrow. But in my mind, that's how I see it playing out. So we'll see. Leno, this channel popped up one day when I was surfing channels for people who live in RVs. Really? Well, brother, I'm glad that you came in, man. And I appreciate you sharing your journey, man. And you got a lot to share, man. A lot of different life experience, and it's helpful. So thumbs up to you, brother. And I appreciate you hanging in there, because I can see how sometimes I turn people off. But I got to be me. And I want people to be them. I don't want to change people, and I don't want to be changed. And if we vibe, I say peace and love. I love it. On that note, let me end it. Even though I feel like going live all night long tonight, because I don't have to wake up early. I also always have to be mindful to manage time. And I'm thankful for tonight. I'm thankful for every comment. And I want everyone, let me read the last one. Poker Pro. Hey, man. Do you ever think about that RV lot you turned down? I've kind of let it go recently. It was tearing me up for several weeks. Within the past 2 weeks, I've kind of healed from it. And I've kind of feel now that I made the right decision. Initially, I felt like, man, I really made the wrong decision. And maybe I still did. I don't know yet. We won't know. It's just like everything in history. You kind of don't know until like years later if you made the right or wrong decision. So, but definitely initially I said, man, I really fucked up. I should have looked up. But now I kind of feel like I made the right decision not buying it. We'll see how it plays out long term. And I'll keep you posted. I mean, I still do have my eye out for some home bases, but still haven't seen anything that grabbed me. And I'm just not there yet, ready to commit. So, and I want to seize this moment in my life where I'm able to work remotely. Hopefully it lasts forever, but nothing lasts forever. And I'm mindful that if I had to get another job, I want to stay in Florida and I want to be in a certain area. So I would kind of want to be in that area. The only good thing about not having a home base is that I have flexibility. If I have to move around for whatever reason, I'm not tied down to something. And so so I go back and forth in my mind. Good question, Tony. Sam, I hear that I hate feeling trapped. And if you go to the Keys, get that pie, brother. Yeah, I remember that episode. There was an episode of whoever that other capitalist porn guy was, who saves businesses, who owns Camping World, Lamartis, the Prophet or whatever. He went to the Keys and he did like the lime pie thing. Too much sugar in that. I won't eat that. I'll probably just go to Publix. But love and respect. Free to be me. Good night. Good night to you, brother. Good comments. Thank you. Sound John. Catch you later, Sam. Thank you, brother. Love and respect and peace to your mind. Peace be with all of you. Love.